Hello, beautiful friends. It's Rachel Archelaus, and today I want to answer the most commonly asked question I get. That question is, how do you do only what you love? Is a doozy. The idea that we could, as people, do only the things that we love and still get things done, still be able to pay our bills, still be in relationships with people. I get this all the time since I've adopted my new slogan, do only what you love, courtesy of Intimate Alien. And it's a really understandable question. So I want to start at the beginning of how you can adopt this lifestyle, this love lifestyle, as she would call it, and really break it down for you so you can see the progression of first being aware that you can do things that you want to do and still make a living, still have people in your life, to getting to this point now where it flows naturally. You're not confronted with the idea of doing something else very often. When you first have this idea that, I can do something that I want to do. A lot of people think about this when they're going to college. What do I want to do with my life? What do I want to be when I grow up? It's normally a mix of doing something to please another person, maybe to make your parents proud or continue a family lineage, to then also incorporating the idea that you get to choose, kind of for the first time in your life. You get to decide what you want to study, what you want to do, if you even want to go to college or if you want to travel, etc. When you reach that age of 18, you get a lot of power over your own life that you seemingly didn't have before. That's really that first idea. We don't normally, though, have this full-fledged belief system that we can do anything we want, that we can have a life that we love and still have money and people in it, right? That's not necessarily in our society yet, but it's coming. So you maybe go through some bad jobs you don't like, you get a degree that's not really doing you any good. Sometimes we have to kind of go through a negative experience of seeing what we don't want in order to get to the place where we realize what we do want. And sometimes we won't know what we want. We'll only know what we don't want. I don't want a day job. I don't want to work in this field. I don't want a boss. Those are things that I definitely felt for a long time. I spent about 10 years in this place of, I know I have a lot to give. I know I have a lot to offer. I know I'm meant for really big things. Why do I have a day job? Why do I have to do this? And it was really confusing to me, but I didn't yet have the belief that I could do it. And so I wasn't allowing myself the ideas that would turn into my reality. Next phase, you know adamantly what you don't want. You might know what you want, or you might just be curious about something. Like, I knew I had all of these intuitive abilities. I knew I loved helping people. I knew that people would always come to me for advice. And so I had an idea of what I might be good at and what I might love doing, but it definitely wasn't like a solid game plan yet. So getting to a place where you know what you don't want, you might know what you do want, you can make a decision that you want a life that allows you to have the opposite of what you don't want. You have to really decide that you can have what you do want. You can allow yourself to know what you want to do. If you don't think that you can have something good, it's not going to come because you're not allowing it in. The whole turning point of all of this is allowing yourself to move forward one step at a time, allowing yourself to think and know that you can have a life that's more pleasurable and more in alignment with yourself. And that starts the journey. So allowing yourself to be curious about what you could do, what online business is like, what traveling the world is like, whatever you have in your heart that lights you up, to know that you could allow that as a possibility. That is absolutely the most important thing about all of this, because you have to keep allowing. So when I started my business, I allowed myself to have some online clients. I allowed myself to sell candles when I was selling candles. I allowed myself to explore these options, and it happened slowly at first for me, but I kept getting ideas. Oh, I can take a class and learn something new. Oh, I can have friends that are doing this. Oh, I can call myself this. I can have this on my website. It was a very engaging process. I was in the moment learning new things about how to allow even more alignment in my life and business. Because I was allowing more good into my life and myself to be more self-directed, more allowing of wonderful feelings and wonderful outcomes, the things in my personal life that weren't working were falling away. And so it was a whole life transformation, allowing in the good, and then the bad just kind of slips out the bottom. It's not always easy. It's not always seamless. I mean, back in that day, if you read my book, Intuitive Art, How to Have a Two-Way Conversation with Your Higher Self, you read about that. You read about my personal life imploding, and as I was just starting to start my business and gain more confidence in myself. It doesn't have to be that hard. It doesn't have to be hard at all. If you're not used to having faith in yourself and knowing that you're a source being and you're connected to all the love in the universe, if you don't know that like really deeply, then it can be a little bit challenging or a lot challenging. But allowing yourself to move forward, allowing those things to happen, allowing the bad to go outside and the good to come on in is how you grow. But it doesn't stop there by any means. You don't just erect a business and then you're done. For flowing people like us, for spiritually minded, creative people like us, we often want new things all the time. As we grow and allow more, what delights us changes. Where we want to go changes. Who we want to be changes. We have these inner feelings that we want to grow, we want to expand. And for me, I ended up changing the focus of my business many times. I started out coaching people on psychic development, which was fun and amazing. And then I added business on there because I wanted to teach people how to have their own business doing what they love, doing their soul-centered work. And so I added in business training. And then I started doing more high-end coaching where I'd work with people for 6 months, a year, and we'd have retreats and do all these amazing things. I didn't know that I was going to be doing any of that when I first started. I had no idea, and I often actually had negative ideas of what that would be. I thought I would never want to do high-end coaching. I would never want to, I had all of these negative beliefs that just, remember, you let in the good, the bad just leaves you. You don't have to do anything to work through those things. You just have to keep going and aligning to the good ideas that come, following through with those good ideas that come. What is a good idea? It feels good, or it comes from a place of feeling good. Like you're meditating, you're feeling great, and then you get an idea. That's a good idea. You're on the beach, you're enjoying yourself, you're playing, you get an idea. That's a good idea. Good ideas feel good, and they come from a place of feeling good. So we're going forward. You're growing as a human being. You're realizing you have new interests. You have new things you want to express about yourself. Your business changes with you. It changes. And so a lot of times people are so afraid to start their first business because they think they're locked in for life. But that's absolutely not the case. So after I added business, then I started the Intuitive Art Academy, and I started a certification that's now worldwide. And that is changing this year too for me. But last year, and really over the course of the last few years, I realized that writing was such a deep passion of mine. I already started a publishing company, but before last year, I was mostly publishing other people's books. And I just realized I do this for fun. I do this because it's just me. It's just what I love to do. And I knew that I wanted my business to reflect that. I wanted to be more expressive in my business. I wanted it to include more writing and more publishing. And I knew that, but I really wasn't sure how it was going to come into play yet. And then over the course of a few months, I got the ideas that felt good about that. And I'm so pleased to say that this year, I'm really implementing that. I'm starting a publication called Hello Love. It's going to be all about how to do this, how to live a life you love, but it's going to be creative and expressive and immersive. It's not just going to be all these how-to articles. It's going to be really playful and fun and hopefully inspire you to get into your good feeling place so that any ideas you get while reading that or interacting with it are the good ones that are going to help you move forward in your life. So basically, what am I saying here? I'm saying that this is an ongoing process. How do you do what you love and still get paid and still move forward? You start where you are. When I first started this, I was allowing myself to email a bookstore and ask them if I could do intuitive art at their store. I was starting a blog online so I could express myself. And I made the decision to start my online business so that I could give myself a chance, so I could see, is this possible? Can I support myself doing all this? And I started a publishing company totally out of the blue, just publishing someone else's work so that it could go with my candle set. All of those things are now combined. All of those things are now part of my business when I had no idea I would be doing any of them. So you start where you are. You start by following those good feelings. Ooh, it might feel good if I went to the beach today. You don't know what that's going to turn into. It could be fun and playful, and you could receive your big idea there. You could start being a travel writer. Maybe you're going to have this big Instagram following, and that first picture is going to be it for you. We don't know, and we don't need to know. We just need to follow the good ideas, those good feeling ideas. So if you're in stress all the time, if you're worried all the time, if you're not feeling good, that is not the time to get an idea. You want to break away from that. You want to go play. You want to go have fun. You want to meditate. You want to be in a good feeling place before you work on your business, before you receive an idea that you actually follow through with. So just keep that in mind. Feel good. That's number one, and that gets you to that place of allowing yourself to download those really good ideas and then implement those good ideas while you're feeling good, right? You don't want to create more stagnation. You don't want to create more of what you don't want. How do you live a life doing only what you love? You make a priority of feeling good, so that you can allow in the ideas that will perpetuate you feeling good. My business changes every year, right? Because my baseline keeps raising. I keep realizing that I can allow myself to do even more of what I love and nothing else. Think about that. Feel that. What would it feel like to do only what I love? Does it feel lighter? I feel like I'm floating off my chair, but in a good way because I'm more grounded than ever. How would it feel to do only what I love? It might even be a little scary because you're not sure. You've never done that before. But luckily, it's done following one idea at a time, one day at a time, one moment at a time, making sure that you're feeling good. And that's it. How do you live a life doing only what you love? You feel your way to it. That's it. If you want a guide in all of this, go check out my coaching page. We have a group coaching program called Zephyrus. I do offer coaching where we get together every other week and keep this focus up so that you can tell where you are and where these ideas are coming from and even how to put them in place in this positive way. My clients have amazing results because everything is vibrational. When you're feeling good, you're attracting good results to you. I just had a client start with me a month and a half ago, and she's already made back many thousands more dollars than she spent on her package just by feeling good and allowing in the abundance. I would love to work with you. and keep an eye out for Hello Love, which is going to be coming out in a few months. But until then, super love. Bye bye for now.